Avengers Endgame signified the end of the biggest phase of releases in the Marvel Cinematic Universe till date. However, according to Kevin Feige, the driving force behind the MCU, the next phase of the universe will be even bigger with a larger, more complex array of characters and storylines.
As you may know, the cinematic universe weaves storylines and heroes and villains across 23 feature films to date. And with Disney Plus, we're able to extend this way of storytelling to a new format, creating series that are connected to our theatrical releases, making the MCU more immersive than ever.
The Eternals, released in 2021, is a major part of the cinematic universe. These characters are set to play a huge role in the ongoing phase, so this movie is definitely one of the most important Marvel releases till now. However, how did this movie fare as a spectacle? Keep watching to know what we loved and hated about the Eternals. Here are 3 aspects of the movie that we loved and believe make the movie one to watch. The first point is about Chloe Zhao's filmmaking. The Eternals is probably one of the most beautiful Marvel movies ever, with the director impressing her distinct style of filmmaking to a comic book film. Zhao's previous movies all contain an element of paganism within. They are focused around the human connection to nature and finding solace from emotions in vast empty spaces and soul-searching journeys. That feeling of connecting with these vast, beautiful landscapes has been captured in the Eternals better than most films, the true style of Chloe Zhao. It was a gamble to rope in Chloe Zhao to direct a superhero movie, considering that stylistically her shots and frames are too poetic for an action film. But in this case, it has been refreshing to see such filmmaking in the MCU. The next point is that the main characters of the movie seem cast perfectly, and as a result, their performances are extremely strong and convincing. Gemma Chan plays the protagonist Sersi, Kit Harington playing Dane, her boyfriend, the Superman-esque Ikaris played by Richard Madden, Salma Hayek portraying Ajak, the matriarchal leader of the Eternals. All of them seem perfect for the roles they have been cast for. Angelina Jolie playing Thena, a warrior who is slowly going mad, and the quarrelsome, scene-stealing presence of Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos are also both wonderful additions to the film. The last point is about inclusion. The inclusion of diverse characters into the movie feel natural. The characters feel like they have always been who they are, as it was meant to be. There is also the line of thought that since the Eternals were created and designed by the Celestials, they are exactly how they are meant to be. And LGBTQ and diverse characters are as normal as anyone else on the planet. Now, here are 2 aspects of the film we did not like and we believe could have been improved. The Eternals feel over-compressed. It felt like the team were trying to compress everything. The introduction of 10 new superheroes, the supposed multi-millennial history of the characters, and a full-fledged story to a length of 3 hours. The movie also gives some time aside for Chloe Zhao to show off her framing and filmmaking skills. This, although beautiful, felt besides the point of the movie at times. It felt like trying too hard, and meant that none of the mentioned aspects of the film were completely covered in a satisfying manner. It might perhaps have been better to split this movie into 2, or even release this as a mini-series to do justice to the characters, like in Loki or WandaVision. This would have meant that the viewers are already invested in these characters when their movie hits the big screen, and therefore more willing to be patient with where a movie takes them. The inclusion of Kumail Nanjiani and Don Lee felt exactly like what it was, a token inclusion to appease Asian fans. Don Lee as Gilgamesh was extremely underused, and his character in the film could have been done literally by anyone else, and it would not have made a difference. And for all of Kumail Nanjiani trying to reinvent himself by beefing up to play Asian superhero Klingo, his character was basically Dinesh from Silicon Valley or Stu from Stuber. Kumail still remains typecast, even in the MCU. While personally we believe that the review bombs of Eternals have been uncalled for and unfair on the movie, it still remains a fact that the Eternals promised a lot and has failed to deliver to those promises. However, the movie still remains a must-watch for Marvel fans. Such is its world building, and we are sure that these characters would be critical in the current phase of the MCU. There is also a wonderful post-credit scene which leaves you waiting for the next installment of the cinematic universe. So yeah, Eternals remains a must-watch film for fans of the MCU, even if it is different compared to its predecessors.